Man, I'm having a blast watching all these riot videos. Some of the shit that's going on out there is freaking hilarious. Oh my god, I've never laughed so much. Rick, why are you celebrating other people's... I'm celebrating government's misery. They make everyone else miserable 365 days a year. I'm glad to see government get a little back. All right, let's take a look at a little history here for those that don't understand this. 13 colonies. Before signing the Declaration of Independence, the media was subject to a series of regulations. British authorities the British authorities would be the Redcoats, attempted to prohibit the publication and circulation of information on which they did not approve. That kind of sounds familiar today. But I digress. Let's move on. U.S. Constitution, First Amendment permits information, ideas, and opinions without inference, constraint, or prosecution by the government. Without interference. I said inference. I'm sorry. Without interference, constraint, or prosecution by the government. It is adopted on December 15th, 1791, has one of the 10 amendments that constitutes the Bill of Rights. Freedom of the press. Number 1, First Amendment. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press. I'm going to get to CNN getting arrested here in a minute. So, I just grabbed this off Wikipedia, so if you want to go there and read all, I just kind of highlight a couple of things. I guess in this case, Neer versus Minnesota, the court ruled that Minnesota law targeting publishers of malicious and scandalous newspapers violated the First Amendment. So, you can't go after the press. Leave the press alone. The free press was designated because any tyrannical government wants to control what information the people have. And we've been under this assault of the press by YouTube, Google, Twitter, Facebook, all the major left wings that say they want freedom when in actuality all they want is more government, more regulation, more taxes. They have been assaulting free speech forever. So the way they assault it is saying, well, it's not free if it's hate. Well, it's not free if it causes fear. Well, it's not free if it endangers national security. Well, it's not free if it... So we've got all these exceptions, again, watering down that pesky Constitution. Freedom of the press is described fundamental personal right, not confined to newspaper or periodicals. This right has been extended to newspaper, books, plays, movies. I got to do my next screenplay movie to get some more ideas. And video games. Associated Press versus the United States. First Amendment rests on the assumption that the wildest possible dissemination of information from diverse, from diverse and antagonistic sources is essential to the welfare of the public. Freedom to publish is guaranteed by the Constitution. The reason why we did this is because the founders knew that when British controlled the press and they wouldn't let us get information out to educate people on what was really going on, we only got the British company line. Kind of like in China, they only get the government line. Did I say China like Trump says it? China! We only get the government line. In North Korea, you only get the government because they control the press. Our founders knew that this was a problem, and they knew that government, to expand their powers, the first thing they would try to do is seize the press and free information, which is why they made it the First Amendment. And they also knew that government, to seize power, would try and take the guns from the citizens, which is why they made it the Second Amendment. It's not for freaking hunting rabbits, like the idiots will tell you. So freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, all this comes right down to the First and the Second Amendment. There's a reason they're the first and the second. They're the most important, and they're the most attacked by tyrannical governments when they want to seize freedoms and power. Okay, to support a libel suit, this really doesn't libel, the burden of proof on the publisher is that there was actual malice. I think I pulled up something right after this to do this. Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie Absence of Malice, you'll absolutely understand why this is. Great movie, Paul Newman. If you haven't seen it, really good movie. Oh, shit. Where was I at? All right, here I am. Hang on. I'm getting there. Rick, you're bouncing around. I can't. Shut up. I'm getting there. All right. New York Times versus Sullivan. To support a suit for libel, a plaintiff bears the burden of proving that the publisher acted with actual malice. He knew the inaccuracy of the statement and acted with reckless disregard for the truth. Which is why you will always notice what every hit piece a newspaper does, they always put in a statement, phone calls to the person was not returned. We attempted to contact the party that the story is about that we're trashing, and they did not return our phone calls. We did that protects them from absences of malice. As long as you give the other party a chance to respond, then you're covered from suit for libel. That's why they always put those in the newspaper articles. If you watch the movie Absence of Malice, he really drives it home. All right. Publisher Inc. versus Brisher. I don't know what the hell, why I put this one here. 21st century U.S. Supreme Court rule. News organizations can't be sued over use of rhetorical or hyperbole. The usage of questionable quoting eyewitness, but the court ruled that even if it had, to call it liable would subvent the most fundamental meaning of the free press. Something papers. I don't know. What's this? 21st century. Blog and use of social media are journalists entitled to protections by media shield laws. They are protected by the free speech and free press clause. Now, why does YouTube keep deleting channels that they don't like? Why does YouTube tell you that that's against their community standards? Isn't community standards violating our free speech rights as press to get information out? But Rick, you don't understand. God, YouTube's a private company. Shut up with your private company crap. That only holds water when somebody wants it to hold water. It does not hold water when you're absolutely a public entity. YouTube is public. They don't produce anything. They're like the freaking government. They only take from those that produce. They share what others produce, they advertise on what others produce, and then they take profits from it. So they are not a private company. They get from the public. But I digress. Let me move on here. We're down the end here. The blogger or journalist entitled Same Free Speech Protection. The journalist cannot be liable for defamation. And what's the last thing that I put on here? In 2018, the U.S. Oh, this is great. I love this. In 2018, U.S. ranked 45th by the Reporters Without Borders Press for Free Freedom Index. So these people tell how good a country is at free speech. We ranked 45th. America, 45th. We would have ranked 1 if our founders were still alive. This is the overall measure of freedom available to the press, including a range of factors including government censorship, control over journalistic access, and whistleblower protections. The U.S. ranking fell from 20th in 2010 to 49th in 2015. In 2016, it went 41st. So, now let's get back to this video. Okay, and I can't believe I freaking love it. I love it when government can't figure out when to zip up their pants instead of stomping on their pee-pee because they're freaking idiots. This whole freaking riot shit started because of tyrannical cops that can't use their freaking head and they're running around being tyrannical assholes every chance they get. So what do? And look, I am no friend or fond of CNN. They are the most fake news lying out there. But you know what? They're still the press, and they still should have free press. And their right to report should not be infringed, even though I hate them. That's the difference between somebody that believes in the Constitution and freedoms and the liberal left that tells you they believe in it when it fits their narrative. So let's look at this video because I can't help but freaking laugh. This poor dude gets arrested for freaking reporting. This would have never happened. Even back, back in the 60s and 70s, you did not mess with the press. They had free freaking reign. Back in the 40s and 30s, press would be like in the middle of crime scenes, taking pictures of dead bodies. And then over time, slowly, we have to protect the crime scene. The government started spreading out its tentacles of public safety and officer safety. And now the press couldn't be even allowed in the room. And they had to be kept outside the room. And then they had to be kept 50 feet from the area. And then we had to rope off and tape off the area. And they couldn't be past the tape. And we can make any tape we want because it's free. It's not our money. You pesky citizens are buying it. So we can tape off a whole freaking block or neighborhood and won't let the press in because it's a crime scene. So inch by inch, like government does, they seize freedoms, and the people watch it like a freaking frog sitting in warm water, thinking the sauna got turned up until he's freaking dead. Here we go.
As we're seeing these remarkable pictures with this law enforcement presence directly behind you, is the why. Why people have been out on the streets protesting. Why.
Okay, Anytime you see a line and you see a break like this is called, we call them an apprehension team, or the go get the agitator, or go out, the arrest team. These guys are going to come out here, make a wall, and protect other guys who are going to come in and arrest this guy. If you're standing around a riot and they're in a riot line and a group breaks out, you need to either attack them. Not that I would encourage anybody to attack our great government, because they're there to protect us. You need to either attack them or run, because they're about to do some damage and they're going to take somebody.
This violence is taking place. There is some action behind it.
This guy doesn't have a clue. Here's the line. So this woman was actually going to leave, and they stopped her and pushed her back so they could arrest her. But Rick, I thought they wanted people to leave, and that's why they were there, and they got arrested for not leaving. Well, that's because you're an idiot and you don't understand. They got tired of standing around like they do, which is why this riot started. Freaking cops have been freaking pissing on people for freaking decades now, and nobody's doing nothing about it. And now they're too stupid to figure out this is what started. This is going to enrage people more. I'm good. I hope they burn down. This is state patrol. Ooh, that's the highway patrol guys. You got to watch, man. They're pretty good with their ticket books, but when you give them a club and put them out to arrest somebody, man, they like to take that new power out for a spin. They're going to use it. They're going to arrest somebody.
We've got one person being arrested.
Took a woman
here.
on the ground that was trying to leave.
We've got. Yep, we're good. Yep. Okay. I got you. Hold on. They had us here. We're speaking with State Patrol right now. Give us a second, guys.
Notice the cops turning their back to the area they're protecting. It's so dangerous. We need 50 freaking cops standing here. Watch in a minute how many cops are standing here, because it's so dangerous. But these cops can come out here and turn their backs to the dangerous area that they're standing there facing with all their weapons, like they're protecting something. They're not protecting anything but themselves. And they arrested this crew because the crew got too close to them and they didn't like it. Freaking more tyranny, more bullshit.
We can move back to where you'd like. We can move back to where you'd like here. We are live on the air at the moment.
Ooh, State Patrol. Those guys are on.
This is the four of us. We are one team.
They're tough. Ooh.
Just put us back where you want us. We are getting out of your way, so just let us.
This guy is the epitome of cooperation. Where do you want us? We'll move. We're just here reporting. We're the press. He's holding out his press credential. Guess what the cops think about freedom of the press? They don't give a shit. They don't care about freedom of the press. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the Second Amendment or you pesky freaking citizens that keep running around. The police are our heroes. They work for us. They're going to protect us. Freaking, I'm so fed up with tyrannical cops.
Wherever you want us, we will go. We are just getting out of your way.
Has anybody noticed that the fire department has... We pay thousands of dollars every day to have fire department and fire people sit around in their shiny red trucks parked in the freaking station, and the only thing they do is run out to the highway on an accident, cover a freaking banana peel, and they don't do anything. And now that we got the whole freaking city on fire, I haven't seen one damn fire truck. Why the hell do we have a fire department? Well, Rick, it's in case there's a fire. Well, there's freaking fires all over the place. I don't see any fire department. Well, Rick, it's too dangerous. Oh, so you're telling me that when we depend on government and we pay for government and they tell us we need them and they'll protect us, it's really just bullshit. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
When you were advancing through the intersection. So just let us know and we got you. And this is a scene here playing out in Minneapolis. This is part of the...
Guy has his press pass. Guess what? It means nothing to these guys. Absolutely nothing. He might as well be holding up a diplomatic immunity badge. Nobody cares. We are the police. We can do what the hell we want. Look at the city burning. Do we care? Hell no. Look how many freaking cops are here. Safe, protected, guns, bag, elbow protectors, leg protectors, masks, gas masks. I mean, look at all the protection. And who are they protecting? They're protecting themselves. Who's paying for that? I am, because they just raised my damn property taxes again every freaking year. They're raising my property taxes for school, for cops, for firemen, for more damn government that don't do nothing but shit on the people. I am fed up with it. I'm glad this happened. Burn the whole damn city down.
Advanced police presence that we saw come over the course of really minutes when the local police showed up at the fire department, or with the fire department, I should say, on that building. We showed you that it was burning. This is among the state patrol unit that was advancing up the street, saying and scattering the protesters at that point for people to clear the area. And so we walked away. I'm sorry? Okay. Do you mind telling me why I'm under arrest, sir? Why am I under arrest, sir?
Why are you under arrest? Because we're all freaking bored. We haven't been able to terrorize any citizens lately. We're just standing around ready to beat the shit out of somebody, and since the only people that are around us are other cops, and you're the only dumbass close enough, we don't care about your pesky press pass. This is freaking outrageous. This is freaking almost as outrageous as what they killed that dude on camera with the knee bullshit. This is outrageous for them to take the... Who thinks we have a free press in this country? Who thinks the free press pass and that the press can report without government intrusion in this country? Raise your hand. Yep, you're a freaking idiot. Outrageous.
Okay.
See all the pesky cops when the car peeled out? A car or something peeled out in the background. Watch all these cops turn because they're scared. I was looking at this line and I'm like, dude, all a few guys got to do is steal a few cars and come through here at about 40, 50 miles an hour. You're going to take out a lot of cops. These freaking idiots are standing around in a freaking mob. One grenade, if they had any tactics at all, one grenade, one Molotov cocktail, anything will take all these idiots out. You couldn't shoot in this area and not hit somebody. You could close your eyes and you could shoot over your shoulder with your back to them and hit somebody. That's why none of these idiots know about distance and interval and any type of tactics whatsoever. They're so used to fighting pesky citizens who are unarmed, who don't fight back, who are just basically a price tag. We'll get some money. We'll arrest him, and then we'll show a stat, and then we'll be able to say we need more police because look how many people we arrested. We got to have more police. Look how many people we're arresting. It's freaking outrageous. Did you see him? Look at him. Oh, I pissed my pants. See a little water dripping down here. He's like, oh, car, scary. He hit his brakes. I was scared.
If you're just tuning in, you are watching our correspondent, Omar Jimenez, being arrested by state police in Minnesota. We're not sure why our correspondent is being arrested.
Hang on one.
So this dude's like, damn, I don't know why you arrested him. Oh, I get it. Maybe it's because he was black. So he thinks he's not going to be arrested. He thinks he's got some white privilege here. He's going to pick up the microphone and think he's safe. Well, he's getting arrested too. Watch this.
Allison, let's listen in to what these officers are saying.
Wow, look at all these police. Woo, police, sergeant stripes. Wow, patches. Police, conservation officer. Ooh, fish police showed up. Who's this guy? I mean, look, everybody's safe. Who are they protecting? Anybody see? There's citizens being killed. There's stores being looted and burned. Where are the cops at? They're not in the danger area. Just like always, you idiots who keep giving up your guns and your right to self-defense, thinking government will protect you, just continue to show your ignorance.
That is an American television reporter, Omar Jimenez, being led away by police officers. He clearly identified himself.
Look at all these cops out here. They got their tan uniforms. Cops. Rick, if all these cops are, how come they don't stop the riots? Because they're scared. Because they don't want to go in when it's outnumbered. They don't want to go back and deal with people that fight back. The public's fed up. So what do? They hide. Like somebody said, I shouldn't have called the cops cowards. Being a retired cop, I should know cops aren't cowards. They're cowards. They're freaking pussies. They're hiding where it's safe with their guns and nightsticks, and they're not protecting anybody. They're not serving anybody but themselves. And because they got bored, they arrested a freaking free press news crew. And again, I'm not a fan of CNN. This is the free press. Outrageous.
Himself, as the reporter, he was respectfully explaining to the state police that our CNN team was there and moving away as they would request. And then for some reason, he was just taken in to police custody live on television. I'm sorry, I did not
They ain't finished. They're taking the rest of your crew too. Watch this.
I mean to interrupt you, Allison. I just wanted to hear, listen to see if we could hear more from the officers, the state police, as this is going on.
Look at fuck the police. FTP. I freaking love it. Look at all these cops. Are these cops or firemen? Maybe these are firemen watching everything burn. They're going to write it down as training. Are these firemen back there? Somebody's going to be like, Rick, those are firemen. Okay. Well, they ain't fighting fires. What the hell are they doing? Well, Rick, the police are protecting them. Oh, so government's protecting government. They're both getting paid by tax dollars. Meanwhile, every other pesky citizen that pays taxes is in fear of their life, getting beat up, raped, and their businesses burned. That's the way it works every time, all the time. Wise up, people.
We're trying to see what's going to happen, John, obviously, to the rest.
I'm about that, guys. We were just out here reporting the closure
I can't breathe. Uh-oh.
of the streets. They just, Omar was just arrested. I believe they're all about to be arrested. That's
So this is the guy that thought he was safe. He was like, here, give me the microphone since you took my guy away. What? You're arresting me now? Shit. What the hell? You're arresting everybody, dude.
our producer.
Out freaking rageous.
We're going to be taken in a minute.
Our CNN camera crew and our producer are being arrested
I
right
hope
now.
CNN puts money and sues the shit out of them
this.
for freaking everything and anything they can get. Outrageous. This needs to go to the Supreme Court about cops arresting press, preventing them from reporting. Absolutely outrageous. Look at this dude, man. Is this guy in the military where they bring out is this the National Guard? I didn't think the National Guard was there yet. Oh no, Rick, that's a cop. He just got, he drove his Humvee and his deuce and a half and his tank and his track and his rubber duck, everything around the freaking corner. I don't know if they still got all those vehicles. Everybody, all the new guys are like, what are those? All the old timers are like, I know what those are.
Okay. I'm being arrested now. I got to can I put the camera down?
Everybody's arrested. Set the camera down here. Film your legs. Wow. It's a good thing we got the state patrol out there. Man, we need more government, because doesn't this make you feel safe?
If you're just tuning in, this is our camera crew, our CNN camera crew, being arrested by the Minneapolis State Police. We believe the camera is now on the ground because our cameraman has been handcuffed. Our correspondent, Omar Jimenez, was also led away in handcuffs, as was his producer. They were standing where they were
absolutely
told to stand
outrageous.
previously by police.
Oh, this
They were
irritates
out
me.
of the way.
This is,
We
to
don't
me,
know
this
why
is
they're
right up
being
there
arrested.
with arresting
They're not
people that are
given
exercising their Second
explanations
Amendment with
for
guns.
here for why.
This is just the arrogance of law enforcement saying, we don't give a shit about your Constitution, what rights you think you have. We're the police. We have immunity. You freaking citizens suck. You're just a pain in our ass. We just want to go to work and get paid. And if you make us even talk to you, we'll find a reason to arrest you. That is the attitude of law enforcement today in the U.S., and it's absolutely just outrageous and fed up. All right, we'll end that there. CNN arrested live on camera. There goes the First Amendment, freedom of the press. No big deal. Oh, Rick, you're making a big deal. It's not a big deal. You know, it's just a Second Amendment. Don't worry about it. Oh, they can search you, you know, if they smell marijuana. It's just a Fourth Amendment. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, you know, out freaking outrageous. All right, we'll end that there.